The next day, early in the morning, "This smells awful," said the young master Roman as he was getting ready. His servant Hans then said, "It can't be helped, master. The smell of blood permeated from your body was too strong." Young master Roman once again complains, saying that this outfit feels too tight as well. Hans then says that since this is your first time meeting with your fiancée, the Lady of Florence, you must show your respects. Marriage, huh? Then our main character, Roman, started thinking, I have only started to get used to this world, and marriage would only needlessly increase my load. Hans then said that they would arrive soon, so let's wait for them downstairs. Roman was still thinking, there is no reason for me to be disrespectful towards a woman who has not caused me any trouble, but he still needed to break this engagement, while offending her as little as possible. That is what he was planning to do, but it seems that Flora, this woman, never planned to show any respect towards me. Well, this gives me much less of a reason to show her any respect. And now we come to the present. Miss Flora, you should mind your own business. I understand where you are coming from. You probably didn't even consider my circumstances when you bought up breaking the engagement. But when I said I would take full responsibility for it, you started to get anxious. Flora started stuttering, but Roman continued. However, from the moment the topic of breaking the engagement came up, you had no right to interfere with my decision. We will go our separate ways from now on, and as such, let us mind our own businesses. Then Roman started thinking. The reason I said I would take full responsibility for it was to prevent any marriage talks that might happen as a consequence after I break the engagement. But it was also because I didn't want to be involved with her anymore. So Flora, this will be the last time we meet. It was night time, and Roman's father was drinking, while his wife told her not to drink so much. His father was sad and then said, Rihanna, I used violence against Roman again. When we were commoners, I used to beat him up pretty often, and after we became nobles, I promised myself not to let my child go through that experience again. Then his wife calmly tells him, thanks to that promise, our children grew up without any difficulties. The man then speaks, yes, that is true. But what about Roman? He was the only child who went through the hard times with me. I don't know how I should treat Roman. Please, don't blame yourself too much, although you may have been lacking in some ways as a parent, but parents are the only one who can correct their children's wrongdoings, said his wife Rihanna. And the Romero Dimitry that I know is not someone who would let his son stray off the wrong direction. You still have the chance to set things straight. Then the man asks, are you talking about the blood Fang? Then his wife replied, Roman is a prideful child. He probably said that he would take care of blood Fang himself in the heat of a moment. But if we leave him like this, who knows what will happen to him? Why don't you get Knight Captain Jonathan to help him? The man then sighs and said, yes, you are right, I'll do that. The man then shouts, is anyone there? Suddenly, a servant comes out and respectively bows to them. The man then instructs the servant, go and summon Knight Captain Jonathan immediately. The next morning, young Master Roman was roaming on the streets, while his flustered servant Hans was saying that it was too dangerous for him to come outside like this, and they didn't even know when Blood Fang would come back to get their revenge. Why don't we head back? Roman stops and then says, Hans, when do you think Blood Fang gained their strength they have now? Hans thinks and then says, I am not too sure. The man then continues, the Blood Fang started to gain notoriety by mercilessly slaughtering their business rivals during a territorial war. Notoriety breeds fear, and fear increases efficiency in carrying out tasks. His servant Hans was getting more and more confused, but still asked, are they not still dangerous? Roman then smirks and says, yes, as long as they can make me afraid, that is. In the Atelier restaurant, it was a lively atmosphere, and the waitress, with a cheerful smile on her face, said that here is the food you ordered. Hans was surprised seeing all the delicious meal on the table. Roman then gets up from his chair and tells him, you can stay here and eat, I'll be right back. Hans was surprised and quickly got up and asked, pardon, what are you talking about all of a sudden? Roman then says, "From now on, I will continue the investigation myself. Stay here, since it is too dangerous for you." Hans was getting flustered and he quickly said, "I cannot allow that. Even if I might be put in danger, I can never send young master all by himself." Seeing his worried servant, he asked Hans a question. "Hans, are you really on my side?" Hans was surprised and then asked, "Of course I am on your side, young master." Then Roman tells him, "Then do what you can to help me. Don't sacrifice yourself so meaninglessly. You have done more than enough just by accompanying me outside. I'll be back soon. Believe in your master." Saying so, Roman went away. Hans, looking at the back of young master Roman, was thinking, "I never expected that young master would one day tell these things to me." But then he hurriedly goes out of the bar because he needed to hurriedly inform the lord of the house about this incident. As Roman was walking on the street, he was thinking, if there is one thing I found out about the blood fangs these past few days is that their strength isn't very formidable, but because they operate in small groups, it is very difficult to hunt them down. It is probably due to the possible backlash if they are not completely wiped out. That is why no one is able to lay a hand on them. If I can't find them myself, then I just need to make them come to me. I roamed around the street with Hans on purpose. They might have figured out where I am by now. On top of that, today is the day of the Dimitry Night Order's regular training, and because of that, the amount of security on the streets has been greatly reduced. That means if they are planning to get revenge on me, this is their perfect chance. Suddenly, Roman hears the voice of a thug. "Roman Dimitry, this is the revenge." Saying so, the thug takes out his knife and pierces it towards Roman. On the other side, Hans hurriedly went somewhere and called out, "Captain." The man turned around confused. Then Hans said, "Captain Jonathan." The captain hurriedly came and asked, "Hans, what is wrong?" Hans was exhausted, but he still said, "The young master is—" "Captain, you have to—" He was saying in such a flustered voice that it was very hard to understand what he was saying. So the captain once again asked, "What about young master? Tell me." Hans hurriedly said, "You have to go and find him immediately. Young master Roman is in danger." On the other side, Roman calmly dodges the thug's knife and elbows him on his abdomen. He then forcefully takes the knife from the thug's hand and pierces it on the thug's heart. The thug directly collapsed, and seeing this, the other two Blood Fang group guys were very scared. This was very different from what they heard. They had heard that Roman was just a useless noble. Suddenly, Roman smiles and asks, "What are you guys doing? Come at me." On the other side, Jonathan calmly asks Hans, "So Hans, what you are saying is, young master Roman went out to the city without a single guard, and that too to fight with Blood Fang?" Hans said, "Yes, that is exactly it." Jonathan and all the knights under his order started laughing because that literally made no sense. How could young master Roman, the weakest of the weak, go and fight with those guys? Hans was irritated and said, "It is true. Why would I lie about that? We don't have time to stand around." Then Jonathan thought about that moment when the lord of the house, Romero Dimitry, ordered him to help Roman resolve the problem between him and the Blood Fang. Well, since the lord asked for it, I might do as well. The captain, Jonathan, ordered all the knights to arm themselves immediately as they are going to set out to where young master Roman was. Jonathan was very angry on Roman because he didn't know how to use a weapon and was only famous for causing trouble to him and his whole family. As the thug was dying in pain, the other two thugs were very scared, but they still charged towards Roman. Roman this time doesn't dodge the coming knife, instead kicks the second thug on his abdomen. The kick was so fierce that the thug directly flew and landed several steps away. Roman calmly comes towards the second thug and tells him that if only the three of you are there, then did you really think you could take care of me? The man was terrified and said, "If you kill us, you won't be safe either." Roman then calmly says, "What are you talking about when two of you are already dead? Are you just saying whatever you can? Did you really think that I would be scared about such a threat?" Roman then picks up his knife and says, "Answer wisely to what I ask you. or else he then directly pierces the man's legs. The man was crying in pain. Then Roman once again asks, "Who is your leader?" In a bar, people were chatting and there was a happy atmosphere when suddenly the door opened. And seeing who the person was, everyone was shocked. The bar owner calmly said, "Welcome," but as soon as he saw who the person was, he was terrified because it was young master Roman. Roman calmly says hello and sits on a chair. Everyone in the bar started discussing, "Was this Roman? Why was he like this? How terrifying! What happened?" All of the people were scared, not only because of Roman, but because of the clothes that he wore that was covered in blood. The bartender then asks, "What will it be?" Roman then says, 27-year-old Tears of Dawn. The bartender says, "My apologies, but our bar doesn't have anything like that. Should I recommend something else?" Roman says, "Oh, well, I guess that works. Get me something strong. I have something to do in the morning, so I need to be a bit drunk." Let's go into flashback. The thug who was screaming in pain calmly told Roman all the information he needed. He said that Dew of Dawn, it was a pub in the middle of the street. They receive their missions from there. They give them stuff to do if they tell them a special code. Roman asked what was the code. The code was Tears of Dawn and something strong or work in the morning. If they say all of these in order, then he would get the hint. Now we come to the present. The bartender tells everyone to attack Roman. Everyone picks up the knife, but before the bartender could even say another word, Roman threw a punch on the man's face. The man directly fell, and seeing this, all the other people were shocked. They became angry and then they charged towards Roman with all their weapons. There were also common people, and when they saw a fight broke out, they quickly ran away and started shouting to call the guards. Roman was beating each and every thug inside the bar. Some were even dead. Seeing this, the remaining thugs were scared because Roman just took down 3 of them instantly. That was Roman? He was very different from what they have heard. Was this really the moron of the family? Roman became so strong in such a little time was because he used the greatest technique in the Morim, and that was to increase one's ki by simply breathing. Although he was nowhere near his old self, but this was still enough to take down a group of thugs. The thugs were very fierce. Even though their comrades died one by one, they still didn't get flustered and charged on Roman because he was only alone. Roman saw them and calmly smiled because these small fries were nothing more than an annoyance. After a while, the bartender woke up, and as soon as he woke up, he heard Roman's voice. "It seems you woke up just in time. I finished up." The bartender then asked, "Young master, why are you doing this?" Roman smiles and says, "What a useless question. You are the one who attacked me. Besides that, it looks like it is just you and me. I have something I am curious about." The bartender finally sees that no one was conscious and his bar was in tatters. All the thugs were lying unconscious and even some were dead. The bartender was terrified. Roman then says, "Let's have a talk, shall we?" After some time, Captain Jonathan and his night squad came to the bar, but seeing that, they were terrified because is this really something young master could do? The thugs were gravely injured and none of them was conscious. Suddenly, one of the soldiers informed Jonathan that there was a survivor from the floor above, and he said that the young master went to Lawrence. Jonathan was surprised and asked, "What? Why Lawrence?" The soldier then said with a trembling voice, "Apparently, Blood Fang's headquarters is in Lawrence." Well, that's all for this video. If you like this video and want a part 3, then comment. Have a good day.